Welcome to another Lap of the World how-to video. This series aims to consolidate some of the practical information that you might want to know if you plan to visit a track yourself, as well as picking up some of the details that hit the cutting room floor when I put together the more narrative track feature presentations. In that context, and without further ado, let's explore how to Oregon Raceway Park. If you want to hear more about this roller coaster of a circuit and its interesting origin story, check out our track feature video linked above and in the description. Located 20 miles south of the Columbia River, just outside the quaint towns of Morrow and Grass Valley, amid wheat fields and not much else, we find Oregon Raceway Park. More or less in the works as an idea since the 1960s, but in actual operation since 2008, ORP boasts a still evolving facility with more amenities than meets the eye, as well as an extremely fun and flexible circuit layout that caters to enthusiasts and racers of both 2- and 4-wheel persuasions. This information is from our visit in 2021 as part of NS Expo. We visited ORP as part of NS Expo, and the event was facilitated by the NSX Club of America. The organizing committee did a great job, but assuming you're interested in more regular hosts with which to drive or ride the track, your options include, but may not be limited to, 2 fast track days, 24 hours of lemons, the Audi Club, Bridge City Autosports, Hooked on Driving, Lucky Dog, NWRR, On Grid, Point Blank Riders, Porsche Club, Sand and Sage Sports Car Club, Targa North America, Team Continental, Turn 2 Lapping, and possibly others. Or you can join the ORP Club and attend events hosted by the track itself. Here's the address. Go ahead and plug it in your phone or GPS like any modern individual. Getting there is not complicated, but the turn off of Highway 97 onto Blag Lane is easy to miss. The track does have signage at the intersection, but it may not grab your attention at dawn pre-coffee. Also, please mind the speed limits as you approach Grass Valley. It is a very small town. It's blatantly obvious who's there for the track, and to quote the track management at our visit, the life you save by not speeding might be ORP's. Lodging options adjacent to the track are fairly limited. If you bring your own shelter, camping on site may be an option, but is subject to approval and some rules, so call ahead. And don't, for instance, plan on having a campfire or dumping any wastewater on site. The closest traditional lodging property is the Tall Winds Motel in Morrow. It doesn't look like much on Street View, but the hosts are nice and the rooms are clean and tidy. Neither my wife nor I have any complaints from staying there, and the price was definitely right. Airbnb or VRBO may also net you a place to stay within a few minutes of the track, though be careful, as we found one property, the Craftsman Inn, had some pretty draconian occupancy policies that may not agree with your plans for a post-track barbecue with more than exactly 7 of your friends. Outside of that, your closest concentration of regular chain hotels is about 50 miles away in the Dalles. If your event at ORP is catered, then you'll be well fed for lunch if our experience is anything to go by. If it's not, then plan to bring something if you don't want to drive. As of our visit, the only dining establishment in Grass Valley is the Country Market. We didn't eat there, but some of our group did, and they were not disappointed. The Huskies 97 Market in Morrow is walking distance from the Tall Winds Motel and allegedly has a grill, although we never saw it operational during our visit. Beyond that, you're driving 20 to 50 minutes to Biggs Junction or the Dalles for ready-made food. Grocery fare is available at either aforementioned market in Grass Valley or Morrow. Oregon Raceway Park does boast a fuel station on site selling clear 92 as well as some spicier stuff. The next closest premium gas is up in Biggs Junction, 20 miles north, where you can find several brands of 91 octane. It's worth a mention here that most places in Oregon, you will not be pumping your own gas. On our visit, the stations at Biggs Junction were self-serve, but not many other places are in the state. For parts, we noted a Napa just north of Morrow in Wasco, but beyond that, you are again driving to the Dalles to find any regular chains. For alternative entertainment, be prepared to drive a little ways from the track, but in order of proximity, we have it on good authority that there are wineries worth visiting just across the river in Maryhill, Washington. The Columbia Gorge Discovery Center is just past the Dalles off I-84 if you're in a museum mood. Alternately, you can find some very scenic views of the Columbia River from the Rowena Crest parking area, and then continue on Highway 30, Interstate 84, and Highway 35 through the amazing Mount Hood National Forest area. As of 2021, Oregon Raceway Park ticks most of the amenity boxes on at least a basic level, but still has a light footprint with relatively few structures. As I mentioned, there is fuel on site, there are garages, some for rent, others which double as classrooms and/or as space for a lunch buffet. A small office doubles as a gift shop, and a guard shack round out the basic infrastructure. The entry road, overflow lot, and garage access roads are packed gravel, but the false grid, the paddock, and the road to and from are all asphalt. The paddock itself is capacious and level. On the western end of the paddock, you'll find a welcome patch of shade under an awning and some of the nicest restrooms I've encountered at a racetrack. Probably on par or better than the hotel you'll stay at if you visit. There are various videos available. Of course, you can now find my own Just the Laps video with some competent rounds. If you want a decent lecture on each turn, I found a video by Carl Tott, apologies for any mispronunciation there, that I found to be useful. If you prefer to do your homework virtually, I did find a mod for R Factor 2 that I found to be pretty accurate to reality. Now onto the track itself. If you would like to see me driving consecutive laps of the clockwise configuration of ORP, find my Just the Laps video, a link to which is probably appearing in the upper right corner as I say this. The dipping, diving, banking, and curving tarmac at ORP can be configured or driven in several different ways. The main circuit can split into a north and south circuit to facilitate simultaneous events or continued operation in case work is needed on one section or the other. All three circuits can be run either clockwise or counterclockwise depending on preference. In some cases, you might even drive one direction Saturday and the opposite direction on Sunday. A lap of almost any configuration of ORP is pretty intense. The main circuit packs 16 turns into just over 2 miles. The track has an elevation delta of 140 feet from its highest point to its lowest, but it sends you up and down over 400 feet throughout the lap. Most turns have some degree of camber change, and that again isn't unusual, except when you see that in one place it hits 14 degrees to the positive, which is the same as turn 1 at NASCAR's Pocono International Tri-Oval. Here is my somewhat messy personal best lap as a point of reference. If you'd like to see a turn-by-turn description, please again check out my track feature video, linked in the description. The best quote-unquote pro tip I can give you for Oregon Raceway Park is to do your homework before you go. If you go in blind, having never watched video or driven a virtual lap, you could spend several sessions just trying to remember what comes next. Day of considerations might include bringing your own shade. There is a permanent awning off the paddock, but at larger events, particularly now when social distancing is advisable, it may fill up quickly. Having said that, it can get very windy on the open plain, so if you do employ a pop-up shelter or other tent-like edifice, please make sure you tie it to something immovable. Another thing to note in the summer is the risk of grass fire is very real. If your car has a problem or if you do go off track in a non-damaging way, you may not want to let your car sit or idle in one place for very long. Thank you then for watching How To Oregon Raceway Park. Hopefully this has been helpful if you plan to visit this unique and entertaining circuit. Thanks again to the NSX Club of America and ORP track staff and volunteers for making my own experience there fun and stress-free. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please remember to leave a like, comment with any suggestions or anything I missed, and consider subscribing. Until next time though, I'm Richard, this is Lap of the World, and I will see you all in the next video, if not at the track.